Hello and welcome to 28 Years Without Avatar. I'm your host, JC. I haven't seen Avatar, but we're changing that one episode at a time. This time with episode 5, The King of Omashu. Okay, we finally see, for the first time, really showcased to us, Earthbending. Earthbending in full freaking force, man. And if there's anything I want to talk about right out of the gate on this podcast today, it's that Earthbending is sick. And I have like zero complaints. Like Earthbending right out of the gate is just so freaking cool. And once again, this show has continued to surprise and delight me with how they use the powers. And I've been talking about this for weeks now, but every single episode where it's like, okay, here's water bending, okay, here's air bending, even when we've already seen it, there's something new in the next episode that I've never thought could happen with those powers. And then with earth bending in this one, it's like, okay, yeah, it is stomping the ground and getting like a rock to appear and then throwing the rock almost like this telekinesis thing, right? Like you're throwing this like solid object at somebody. But then it's not just that. It's putting characters in a solitary confinement zone and having no doors because you don't need doors because you can just earth bend the walls of the room to come in and out at your will. That's so freaking cool and just creative. And this being one of the first times we ever even see earthbending and they're doing creative stuff with it like that is just super promising. And I was saying this on the Patreon, but the way that this show already has surprised me with all these powers, with every single one of them, whether it's fire, water, air, or earth, I'm so curious where it's going to go in like later seasons. Like how much do they evolve that? Are there crazier things that I can't even think of right now? I don't know. But yeah, this episode was just like, yes, the earthbending episode of finally seeing what these powers are all about and seeing this civilization over here. And how they are using it to their advantage, right? Like with these slides and they're using this to like propel their supplies down throughout the city. And by the way, the king is actually a god at earthbending skills and is like a super cool rival for Aang to fight in this episode. And that was surprising too. Like just this whole episode was really great. I really like this episode. I do think that like in terms of the overall plot, there's like less lore and stuff like that to go off of this time around. Like it's less about, okay, what is the Avatar about and what's happening on the worldly stakes. But I think it's more about finally seeing what earthbending is about and Aang reuniting with an old friend, right? And we have that with the character Bumi, right? We have Bumi, the king of Omashu. And I'm not gonna lie, I called it. If you watch my reaction to this episode, some of you guys are watching those on Patreon, like I said before, but I called it. Like halfway through, I was like, this is odd. Like this is really odd that they showed a flashback of a character that kind of had the like mad scientist thing going on. Like, yeah, we're going to find this crazy contraption and we're going to slide down and oh my God, it's going to be crazy. And it's like, who the heck is this guy? Who's Bumi? And then when we meet the king is a little bit... I don't want to mean any disrespect, but like the king has a little bit of that like crazy old man vibe going on where like maybe he's smarter than he's letting on, but maybe he's not. I can't really tell if he's insane or if he's just like wacky, you know? I don't know. There was something up with that where I was like, okay, it's either that's Bumi or that's like a relative of Bumi and there's some sort of like connection familiarly, is that a word? There. And we're going to find out over the course of the episode. But it actually was Bumi. It literally was Bumi. And that was super satisfying for me. Because like, oh, dude, I've been wanting that for a while. Like I have been talking about how Aang, obviously he's been gone for over 100 years. And how that is going to have such an impact in terms of like a lot of the people that he knew are probably gone, right? But in this case, it's actually kind of Aang witnessing like the time travel, if you will, of a character that he knew as a kid, and then that character being like super old now and is just in charge of this place. Like, what the heck? That's a crazy sort of thing to have happen in the show so fast. Like, see a character that Aang knew as a kid and then now is like this iconic earthbending figure. I don't know. It was super interesting. I love it. I finally got some of Aang's backstory kind of like coming to play again, and Aang sort of realizing like, oh, my friend like grew up and he kind of figured it out in the end. And Boomy's cool. I like Boomy. At first I was like, I don't really know where this is going. Like, I can't tell if this guy like hates us or if he's being like a Joker type character, or if he's really smart secretly. I think it's a little bit of a mix of all things. I think he's smart, but also a little bit wild and crazy at the same time. And that's what kind of makes him fun to watch. And I think that that's been a cool juxtaposition with all the other characters so far, because obviously we have like the vengeful character with Zuko, who we didn't see in this episode at all, which is interesting. We have, like Zuko's uncle, right? His uncle is kind of got that like lackadaisical attitude, but you can tell he's like secretly like really, really good deep down. But we haven't had a character that's just like kind of crazy looking or kind of crazy feeling and how they operate and what they're doing. Like literally like just eating a leaf and being like, that was interesting. Like that was a cool like difference to have in this episode than we've had before. And yeah, I think with this one, it's like, yeah, again, we didn't get a lot of like world stuff in terms of like the overall world, but I don't really care. And I don't think you guys care either, because seeing earthbending powers was fire. I want to say it was Earth because that's God, stupid puns. But you know what I mean? Like seeing earthbending powers in general and just like Aang trying to deal with that and trying to like almost like parry with his like airbending powers, that was pretty satisfying to see. And then seeing like the mud and like the quicksand effect that Boomy was doing as he was fighting Aang, and you're like, oh my God, like I didn't know that they could do that, but that makes sense if mud and quicksand or whatever is part of the earth, which is, right? It's like earthly materials, then yeah, maybe they can do things like that. Maybe it is a little bit like Gaara in, I think Gaara was his name. I watched Naruto only a little bit as a kid, and I only got up to really that point of the show, Rock Lee versus Gaara. If you know, you know. It was an iconic fight. But yeah, like I just think of like Gaara with like all the sand, right? And being able to control that. And I'm wondering if earthbending people can do that, where they can just like control all sorts of things, not just like rock, but mud and dirt and sand and all that. And is there, like, how does that work exactly? Because like doesn't sand and all that kind of go near the water, and are all these things kind of more connected than they actually are? I don't even know what I'm yapping about, but you know what I mean? Like earthbending, I feel like can go so far because Earth is like everything around us. It's not just like one specific material of the Earth. It's like a lot of other things. I don't know. I don't know where earthbending can go, but earthbending is really freaking cool, and I love seeing that. I got to give my MVP award, though, to this episode, okay? To Mr. Cabbage Man. I don't know what his actual name is, but that was my favorite joke of this episode. And I love that this episode had a lot more comedy to it. But it was like comedy that didn't feel like out of place or annoying. It was just like genuinely like really funny and surprising. Like just out of nowhere, like multiple times in the episode, this poor guy, he's getting turned away at the start. He's then in the city later, and his cabbages are always just getting destroyed by the characters or like other people in the episode. And he's just like, my cabbages. And he's just like screaming. And I was like, bro, I felt that. Mr. Cabbage Man, you get the MVP award because you had to deal with a lot. You had to deal with all of our antics. You had to deal with our characters sliding down on this like sort of like earth, like, I don't know, almost like something from Minecraft, like an earth rail cart thing. It's so funny because the last episode, Aang and the characters had a little bit of like guilt about, hey, this is, we're bringing a lot of destruction to the village, and we should probably stay on task and be a little bit careful about being too noticeable, right? Because it's causing destruction. And then when they get here, granted, they were being more undercover, like, yeah, let's not let anybody know I'm the Avatar. But then this time around, they're like, mainly Aang, and the others are kind of just, they have to deal with it, and they're just along for the ride, quite literally. But Aang's like, let's go riding on this cart thing. And they're just like destroying the rooftops and destroying all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, we just got a village destroyed, guys. We just destroyed a village. We were really sad about it. And then in this episode, it's like, let's freaking play Chutes and Ladders, and we're destroying this guy's pottery. We're destroying the cabbages that this man has been doing. Like, we're just absolutely destroying this place. But I guess Boomy doesn't really mind. I think that's like the core of this episode, is that there's something, there's this tie that Boomy and Aang have, where they kind of operate in a similar way sometimes, and there's a bit of a friendship there that makes it kind of okay. So that's good. In the long run, I think that that's okay. I'm glad that our characters are not imprisoned immediately again. Like I feel like they're always getting caught and always in trouble. But I like that this time around, it's like, oh wait, okay, maybe we're on good terms with Earth Kingdom. Maybe things are good. Maybe this was just a good little like trial for Aang. And in Boomy's words, right? Boomy was saying that like he's Aang if Aang's gonna conquer all four of the elements, right? That we might have to act a little bit like a mad scientist or I think he said a mad scientist. Like we might have to get a little crazy. I kind of like that. It's like you kind of have to just maybe go mad with power a little bit or think on your feet and do some I don't know, like just improv, right? And that was sort of like the lesson of this episode is okay, it's maybe the answers to your questions are not just solve the thing right away. It's think about a unique altering path or a differing path from the truth, or finding some way to improv your way out of a situation. And that sort of like guts and being able to be brave about something crazy might actually be the thing that Aang needs going forward as one of his skills when he eventually has to fight the Fire Nation, right? And that was really cool. I really enjoyed that this episode, even with everything, it still found a way to like give like a lesson to Aang. And again, like it's a lesson from one of his old friends. And I don't know, I enjoyed this one. Again, it's not like the craziest lore drop of all time. It's not like the plot has progressed a whole lot. We didn't get any Suki. We did not get any Suki. So 1 out of 10, not a 10 out of 10, because I want more Suki, damn it. Where is Suki? Okay. Where's Suki, guys? Suki was so cool. I really hope she wasn't just a one-off character. I swear to God. So we better get more Suki in the future. You know, at first I thought that might actually be how they escape, is that Suki might show up and be like, we know these guys and they help the village or whatever. I don't know. But that didn't happen. But yeah, no Suki, but that's okay. I had a really good time still with this episode. It's not actually a 1 out of 10. The episode was pretty good. I had a good time. And I'm trying to think of like anything else that really, really happened. Again, the comedy was just really strong. Like I like the sort of the way that Sokka and Katara were both like being encapsulated by the rock candy. And I love the idea that Boomy can just, I guess, control rock candy. Like that counts as Earth as well. Like what are the rules on what counts as Earth? I think there's a lot of different ways that Earth could be something that is controlled. I don't know, but that was pretty funny. I like that Sokka was just falling over. I like the sort of humor that Katara had where she's like, yeah, we can try that. We can try using, that name and whatever name Aang said, like Piccadilly, Piccolo, like Flippy Doodah Day. I don't know what he was saying, but I like how they're just like going along with it. Like this might work. Yeah, sure. Yeah, great. So I thought that was pretty fun. I thought that Sokka at one point was going to be recruited by the Earthbenders. I was like, oh my God, here we go again. They're going to get Sokka to get humbled by someone that knows more about, their training than he does. But that didn't really happen. Instead, he was with the main characters this time, which I actually enjoyed. I like him being more with Aang and Katara this time around. Also, I love that Momo. Momo almost had a chance to shine, but Momo got stuck in the hole just like Winnie the Pooh did. I was playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts this week, and there's like a moment in Kingdom Hearts 1 where it's not really a spoiler really, but Winnie the Pooh is just like literally getting like stuck in a hole because he ate too much honey. And that was literally exactly what Momo did. Momo was just feasting and it was like, I'll get it, don't worry. And then Momo got stuck. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's like an actual Winnie the Pooh moment that just happened. So that was funny to me. I like that the idea of using, I think, Appa's hair or whatever as a disguise. I have a lot of allergy concerns with that one. I would have been sneezing probably like crazy because Appa just looks like an allergy attack waiting to happen. So that was funny. I don't know, man. This episode was really good. I like it. There's a lot of fun moments with the characters. I just wish there was maybe a little bit more like overall world plot progression, but that doesn't really damper it too much because at the end of the day, I got to see Earthbending. I got to see a new character with Boomy. I like Boomy. Boomy's pretty cool. I like that it's someone from Aang's past that's still alive. Thank God it's not all trauma, right? And yeah, I want to pose a question to you guys, though. I think MVP of this episode is Cabbage Man for sure. But I do want to pose a question to you. What is your favorite? And I was asking this on the Patreon. I'm asking this everywhere. At this point, we've seen water, air, fire, and earth, right? We've now seen all 4 elements, okay? But what is your favorite that they showcased so far? Like, obviously, you guys know because you're probably watching this nostalgically and kind of living through my eyes watching this for the first time. But try to think of it from the standpoint of you only got to episode 5, right? If you only got to episode 5 of the show and you've seen all the different bending powers at this point, what has been your favorite one? Like, if you could have one of those powers, which one would you go for at this point in time? Again, don't spoil future episodes. Don't say, well, by episode 10, earthbending is like the craziest thing ever. Or by this episode, water is like this. I just want to know, like, from your standpoint, what's your favorite bending that you've seen? Because at this point, we've seen them all. And I think right now, I'm going to be honest. Look, I thought I would go towards air, to be real, because air seems pretty fast. And I like fast mobility usually in games. And I just like fast characters and stuff like that. But earthbending is pretty cool, dude. Like when they were showing that effect of like the doors like breaking apart the walls and like coming back up, and then like even the entrance to their city being just like earthbended to be closed. Like there's something kind of cool about the fortification feeling that Earth can do. It feels like there's more protection potentially. It feels like there's more I don't know, like just unique ways that they might be able to use it than I was even thinking. And I just like the telekinesis with like this rock stuff too. It kind of reminds me of like Control and games that I like as well. I think Earth is like the coolest one that I've seen so far. It just surprised me more than I thought it would. I don't know what I was really expecting. I guess I just thought it was just gonna be like throwing the rocks, right? But it was much more than that. They have a whole like system in their community on how they get supplies around. It definitely. I mean, again, like I think Boomy just being this character that was just like, I'm a little crazy, but also look how cool I am. He was ripped. He was really ripped. Like he took off his cloak and he's like literally ripped. Like, oh my God, he's hot. Like what is happening with Boomy? I didn't expect that to happen. But Boomy was badass. Like that was pretty cool. Like I want to see Boomy fight like a Fire Nation character. I just want to see the difference. Like how does that work? How does Earth versus fire actually look in battle? Because like, can't it just snuff out the fire? Like, can't you just like put things that like sand, right? If you use like sand, that would snuff out fire. That's what I'm thinking in my head. So I think Earth is the way to go. Like, I think Earth, if I had to pick one to have right now, I'm going to say Earth is the best one that I've seen. Granted, I know that Aang has like done some ultimate moves with water, like when he did the cryo and he's done some other things, but I don't know. Just in the standpoint of like, if I'm a person in the world of Avatar and I could have one of the powers, I might choose Earth. I might choose Earth because there's just something really, really cool about that. You can like levitate yourself maybe by like manipulating the Earth. You could probably like, yeah, again, sand is a thing that could lead to stuff. At least I think it was sand. I don't know. I'm just thinking of all the stuff that they could do. The sort of telekinesis of it, the way you can create little like secret hideouts for yourself. Like, I don't know. There's something cool about it. Let me know down in the comments below which one is your favorite that you've seen so far. I think there's cool elements about all of them. I'll be sure to keep telling you if I see something that makes me go, oh, I like that one more. But yeah, I think Earth in this episode really showed me like, okay, Earth Kingdom's really cool. And this is only one Earth Kingdom region. I guess there's more, right? So I don't know how big, like this is the other thing too. Like I don't have the concept yet of like how big these countries or nations or kingdoms are in this show. Like with the water tribe, it seemed pretty small, but there might be like more, right? And we just haven't seen them. Like with the different poles, right? Sort of South and North Pole. But with like, again, I just don't know like how big is the Fire Nation? Like actually, it's this dominant force. How big is it? And with the Earth Kingdom, how big is it? Are there multiple cities that are like Earth Kingdom cities? I guess so. And this is one of them. And Boomy's here. How did Boomy even become the king? That's a question I have too. Maybe I missed that. But how did Boomy even become the king? He just seemed like kind of like a misfit. But he somehow is the king and he's just in charge. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out more answers to that later in the future too. But yeah, that's where my thoughts are right now. I like Boomy. I like where this episode went. It was pretty funny too. And I actually called the plot twist about halfway through because I was like, something's up with this. This is odd. Like this character, I wasn't expecting the king to be like this. And I feel like there's something going on here. And then when it was revealed, I was like, yes. But it was a good reveal. I'm glad that I caught it. Like, I love when I theorize about something and then it actually gets validated. I feel like so many shows and so many movies in the modern era that try so hard to not answer your theory, where they're like, oh, we're subverting expectations and we're doing something that's not satisfying. And you're like, oh, well, the theory I had, I know you don't want us to predict it, but the theory I had would have been satisfying if I was validated, you know? That's how I feel about this one. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of glad that I was right. Not in a way like I feel like I spoiled myself, but I was glad that I was right, and it made it super satisfying to watch this episode. So yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 1-5. I think that Earth Kingdom is really cool. Boomy's pretty cool. I don't know why he's so ripped. He is freaking incredibly powerful. I want to see him fight people. Like I want to see him to fight people other than Aang. I want him to actually like be out in the world, like fighting like a Fire Nation person. Maybe in the future, maybe in like a future season or something. That'd be cool. And yeah, I hope to, just see more of where the show is going to take all these things. Like we're finally getting Earth. Okay, now we've seen all the elements, but we still have to be on track. Like, aren't we? This is called Book Water, right? Aren't we going towards more water tribes? Like, isn't that like the goal, right? Is we gotta go for water. So I'm curious when that's gonna pick up again. If maybe that's the next one, maybe it's the next stop of their journey. It definitely feels like this is one stop of the road, and we're not exactly sure where we're gonna go next. Just as a viewer, I'm not exactly sure where the next episode is going to start, but I do think that Zuko's probably going to intro the next episode, because Zuko's been in every episode so far for the most part, and it did feel a little odd not having Zuko at all in this one. So I'm like, wait a second. I'm so used to having Zuko always being like a driving force of the other side of the show. Where is he? Maybe there's something going on there. Maybe we're going to get like a surprise like twist on what Zuko's doing at the moment. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Can't wait for next week. I do think it's either episode 6 or 7, and I didn't mean to do that, but I do think it's episode 6 or 7 is the one where you guys told me to watch it at the same time. Definitely let me know down in the comments as well if that's the case. It's either this episode coming up or the next one, but whatever one it is, we'll do a double feature. If it's a 2-part episode, I will make it a double feature for you guys. So hopefully very, very soon, you'll get a 2-in-1 episode from me of this podcast. And yeah, we'll keep on trucking along and giving you my thoughts as we're going. But yeah, Boomy's cool. I like this episode. Earthbending's cool. I want to be an Earthbender now. And MVP, best character I've ever seen in my whole life, is Mr. Cabbage, whatever his name is. I hope that he gets his cabbages recovered to him soon, or he gets damages paid for, because that poor man. my cabbages. Dude, it was freaking great. All right, y'all. I'll see you next week, okay? Hope you enjoyed the pod. Definitely go check out the Patreon if you want to see the reactions in full with the time sync to sync up. If you want to do a watch along with us. The support has been absolutely crazy as always, and I hope to see you guys for more things in the future. And yeah, this has been me, JC. 28 years Avatar, but we're making some progress. See you next week, y'all. Have a good one.